Okay, I didn't get the memo about the little prompter over there, so I have some big notes. And I know that's a TED no-no, but I'm trying not to use them as much as possible. All right, today, everybody, we're going to create some energy in this room. We're going to divide the room in half, and I want you all to participate. And you are going to need to cheer a little bit louder because we have a little bit more people over here. So we're going to start with you. You're going to be the S. Then we're going to go back to you, and you're going to be the D. And then all together now, we're going to be the M. Are you ready? Let's put your hands together. Come on, everybody. Give me an S. Oh, good. Give me a D. Give me an M. What's that spell? Nothing. SDM, shared decision making. It is transformational in every corporation and nonprofit organization. And we're going to learn about that today. From Fortune 500 companies to nonprofit organizations, shared decision making allows individuals at all levels to be heard and gain buy-in and the creation upon agreed upon path of efficiency. So in education, how is shared decision-making used? We bring together teachers, parents, administrators, students. In healthcare, which we're going to talk about today, because that's where I work, we bring together nurses, techs, physicians, administrators, and I like to include my volunteers. Think about in your organizations, who would you bring together for shared decision-making? The challenge. I am very lucky to work at the Torrance Memorial Medical Center, but we have 3,000 employees and 1,000 physicians. They work nights, days, different floors of the hospitals, and we need to work together as a team to be successful. So we have 3 challenges when we were looking at bringing in shared decision-making. Everybody knows in a management organization, what did the traditional management, we set the goals up here, right, with the presidents and the senior administration, and then it's communicated down to the rest of the organization. You will implement my vision, right? Shared decision-making, we flip that upside down. We believe in our staff. So the 3 things that we're looking at to improve in shared decision-making. 1, employee communication and employee buy-in. 2, collaboration and teamwork. How do you get an organization that is that large to work together as a team? And 3, which is very important, employee pride. This is the formal definition. Tim Porter O'Grady is the father of shared decision-making. But basically what it means is if you believe in the innate brilliance of your staff, you will be successful with shared decision-making. You need to get input from every level. That is the basic foundation of shared decision-making. He has stated the staff that is closest to the action can make the biggest impact. Did you hear about how that one janitor made an impact on that one student's life that said, if you don't get your act together, they're going to be your boss? Well, we had a challenge with our housekeeping division. So we went to all of our housekeeping services. Our scores were not as great as we wanted them to be. So we worked together with them. We developed their council structure. These are the people who clean the patient rooms, clean the bathrooms, keep the hospital clean for our visitors and guests. And when you given the opportunity, they came out with these great ideas of how they can improve overall environmental cleanliness. For example, one of the things they do, now when they walk into, has anybody had to use a hospital before? Yeah. So now when they walk in a patient's room, they say, hi, how are you today? I am so-and-so, and I am here to clean your room. So you don't think, sometimes they wear the same scrubs as the nursing staff, so you know what their job is. And then an hour later, the manager comes around and asks the people, was your room clean to your satisfaction? Guess what? Our scores have gone up 90%. So the structure of shared decision-making varies at every organization. At Torrance Memorial, we have 40 house-wide councils that focus on departmental goals. And then we have 4 leadership councils that focus on managing finances, information technology, pride and communication. The importance of, how do we establish those councils? So it's a very democratic process. They are nominated by their peers, then they're voted on with a ballot process. They have between 5 and 15 people on every council. They meet once a month for 2 hours every month with a very focused agenda. And one of the important things you should note about shared decision-making councils, there's only one manager. This is the staff. These are the people who are in the workplace, in the trenches, helping us achieve our goals. They serve for 1 2-year term, and they can be nominated for up to another 2-year term. As shared decision-making was being implemented at Torrance Memorial, I was so impressed, I brought it to the foundation office. This is the fundraising office that I work with. And I also brought it in to my foundation board. Going from good to great. So what does shared decision-making have to do with fundraising? Does anybody know what the #1 funding source of any healthcare organization is? Any ideas? Who's our biggest donors? Grateful patients. And how do you think we create grateful patients? Excellent in patient care, cleanliness and environment, customer service, not long waits in the emergency department. I don't know if anybody's had to use an emergency department, but we're working on that full force. But as an organization, we can have a much greater impact in making excellence in all those things as opposed to my foundation office. And if we work together, that's going to increase our overall fundraising success because we never know when that $1 million donor's going to walk through the hospital doors. Another goal of shared decision-making was employee pride. I come from a university setting. I have a university that does this. It says fight on for those UCLA people. Anyways, when we wanted to show off our pride, we had sweatshirts, t-shirts. Well, guess what? Torrance Memorial. We have a student store now called HealthLinks. We sell license plate frames. We sell sweatshirts. We sell t-shirts. We sell coffee mugs, keychains, everything. We have everything with the exception of the football team. So, achieving buy-in and participation from employees. The transformation in my office that I really saw when we were practicing shared decision-making, in 2008, what happened? The economy kind of took a tank, right? And how do you think that affected fundraising? Dramatically. So we came together when I saw this implementation of coming together and brainstorming. How are we going to achieve success? So we worked on the 4 basic principles of fundraising. Prospect identification. How are we going to find more prospects to help us with our fundraising? Second, cultivation. How do we educate people and get them to know the great work that Torrance Memorial is doing? Third, how many times have you been involved with a fundraising organization? You cultivate, and no one ever asks for the gift? The #1 reason you don't get gifts is because they don't ask for them. So is it the president? Is it the doctor? Is it the board member? And finally, stewardship. Too many people, I don't think, show appreciation for people who make gifts to nonprofit organizations. The rule of thumb that we came up with, we need to thank our donors 7 times before you ask for the next gift. And should you do a solicitation and a thank you? No. These are some of the great ideas that came out. So then how did I utilize it in my fundraising board? I don't know if any of you serve on a nonprofit board, but we would sit in this big formal room and have around this big table, and we'd do all this work and put these packets together, and they'd come in at 7:30 in the morning, and we'd do all this presentation, and they'd leave at 9 o'clock. And I thought, these are unfulfilling. No one's talking, no one's communicating, no one's getting buy-in. It's a one-way communication thing. So we got out of the boardroom. We now meet at round tables. We have discussions. We give them ahead of time at the meetings. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to transform? What goals are we meeting? And it has created such tremendous buy-in from our board. They now are inviting prospective donors to their home and talking to them about Torrance Memorial. We're bringing people down to the hospital for tours, and start thinking about how you can implement this in your organization. Tours of the hospital, so they can see firsthand the good that the organization is doing. And they're also giving us donors' names to help continuously feed the pipeline of fundraising at Torrance Memorial. There's two other things that came out. In our Pride and Communication Council, which is made up of 16 house-wide people, we've got nurses and people who clean the restrooms and information systems people, but what we all struggled with at the organization is, how do we improve employee satisfaction and employee pride? Like Rudy was saying, so we have happiness in the workplace. One of the things we needed to do was create a recognition. When you recognize somebody who goes above and beyond the call of duty, does that encourage them to continue on? Yes. Does that encourage other people to participate and do the same thing? Yes. So we came up with 2 awards. The first one was a staff award. It's called the Reason for You as Award, and it's given monthly. And those awards are recognizing staff people who, come in early, they stay late, they, just go above and beyond the call of duty. And the second award that we created was our Nursing Excellence Award. And I have to share this story with you. It's called the Daisy Award. Patrick Barnes awoke, this is told by his mother. He was 33 years of age. He awoke one morning and he had blood blisters in his mouth. He had survived Hodgkin's disease twice. They immediately rushed him to the hospital, and he was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called ITP. Patrick and his wife, Tina, had just had the first family grandson. And the last 8 weeks of their life, they spent in the hospital. But what was miraculous about the care were the nurses. They worked so carefully with Patrick and his family. They brought him back to life twice. They were communicating through the whole time. And even when Patrick was on a ventilator and totally sedated, they were communicating with Patrick as a human being, not a non-responsive patient. They had the loving hugs from the nurses, the constant holding hands, sitting with the family. After Patrick passed away, it left a huge void in that family's life. And they wanted to establish an award that recognized Patrick's life, but mostly the nursing excellence that he received there. So they established the DAISY Award, and it stands for Disease Attacking the Immune System. And now that award is a nationwide award, and we brought that to Torrance Memorial. This powerful story is just another idea of how shared decision-making occurs. So transformation, how do we measure the success of Torrance Memorial's shared decision-making? One, we look at employee surveys. Their surveys have shown we've had improved employee communication, we've had improved teamwork, improved buy-in on organizational goals. We also measure our success by national recognition. Has anybody ever heard of a magnet hospital? Oh, yay, we must have a hospital person here. It's a nursing excellence award that only 6% of all the hospitals across the United States have. And when they were coming to Torrance Memorial, most magnet hospitals have shared decision-making only in the nursing division. But we took it housewide, and they were so impressed with the transformation organizationally. And for me personally, shared decision-making has totally changed my management style. I believe in the brilliance of my staff, working together as a team. It's been transformational to me. So today, I give you all a big high five and say thank you for being part of Team TED, and go transform some lives and do shared decision making. Thank you very much.